So we're going to start this tea together. This is Chinese green tea. Gui. Weren't cheap, but it was the cheapest that they had. But these are supposed to open up like flowers. So I've had this tea for a little bit. I completely forgot that I had it. And then when I realized I had it, again, when I saw that I had it, I realized I didn't have a coffee mug for it. I bought a coffee mug. We'll talk more about the coffee mug in a minute. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this, because we want it to go down the right way, right? Oh, she's floating. Aren't you supposed to sink and open up on the bottom? She don't want to go down. It's not acting the way I thought it would. We'll see if the steeper helps take it down a little bit. Not really. Ah, we tried. Down. Okay. It is now on the bottom. The steeper is holding it down. I'm going to put the glass down for a minute. We're going to let it soak for just a minute. Air bubbles are coming up. I don't know if you all can see that. You see the air bubbles coming up off the side? Yeah, see? Air bubbles are coming up. But now I have it in the steeper. It is starting to open up a bit. It's taking its time and it's looking kind of ratty. I don't know if you guys can see that. And here I was hoping that we would all get to watch it bloom. Been in there for 5 minutes. That's disappointing. How long does blooming tea take to bloom? Apparently a long time. So hello and welcome to Domytriesthis This. I hope you brought your cuppa. As you can see, it has opened up a little bit more. I've been working on it. There's a bit of pink in there. I don't know if you can see the pink on the edge right about here. There's a bit of pink in there trying to show up. I don't know. It's not doing its thing the way it's supposed to. So we can taste the tea and have a big flower on the bottom. I'm a little disappointed. I kept my milk outside of the tea because I wanted us to all watch it bloom, and that just didn't happen. So we're just going to go ahead and throw the milk in there. All right, so now we can't see it at all, except for a bit of pink at the top. I'm disappointed, folks. I really wanted to watch it bloom. Maybe I just need to do this at another time when I don't have a bunch of people waiting on me for it to be done. And so we're going to go ahead and give this a sip, like I said in the opening. This is Chinese green tea Fu, I'm mispronouncing, Fu Gui. I am trying to be respectful here. I don't know. This came from our local Decatur Farmers Market, which is huge. It says World Direct on it, on the container. So let's go ahead and give her a sip. We're leaving that in there for now and waiting to see if it'll finish. It does look like it's the pink part is opening up some. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up so you can see the pink. Kind of. But yeah, the pink part is opening up. There is a flower in there. It's just being, I don't know, stubborn? Slow? Something? Let's go ahead and give her a sip. It's like green tea that I've actually sugared correctly. We're just going to let it sit. Sometime towards the end, hopefully I can take this flower out and we'll take another taste later. But it's definitely just a green tea, which I don't mind. I like green tea. So hi, it's been a while. We are actually going to talk about why it's been a while, where I've been, what's been going on. This is going to be, yes, kind of a short um, notes from home, only because my brain just can't seem to figure out things from before. But one of the things that my brain does remember is we got glasses. So hello, Editing Dommy here, sharp-eyed. Regular subscribers and regular visitors to the channel will notice that I said that there were 2 new pairs of glasses, and the pair that I was talking about and was wearing was not new. For some reason, my brain was not completely engaged, and the glasses that I was wearing at the time were the Zennies that I initially got. This that I'm wearing now is the second pair of glasses that I was supposed to be showing off. I will show them off in another video down the road. However, as much as I love the cat eye with the butterfly edges that you're about to see, I noticed that there was a lot of purple glare, and well, that was rude. Roku. Anyway, I noticed there was a lot of purple glare. I'll see what I can do about that. I suspect that's going to be a problem with these as well. It looks like they're doing something similar. Let me turn this way. Well, they're not nearly as bad, at least not in this lighting. So we may end up using these a lot more than those other ones that I think are so adorably cute. But anyway, don't know. My brain wasn't completely engaged, I guess. And yeah, so I said there were 2 new pair of glasses. This is the second pair of glasses. That should have been the pair that I was wearing when I said 2 new pairs of glasses. At any rate, going to let you get back to your regularly scheduled get ready with me. However, these aren't the only glasses that I pick up. These are from Vooglam, I believe, and I would not recommend. There was, I don't know, it was something else. The service itself was pretty good in general. The shipping sucked, and on the plus side, I ended up with 2 boxes. They did replace almost everything that I had originally ordered, including the 2 pairs of glasses. So now I've got 4, which will last me a while. But a couple of things had gone out of stock since my package got lost, and so they put out a second package. The second package got in here like a week and a half to 2 weeks. The first, once it was shipped, the first package was out there for over a month and a half. So I don't know. I guess that's on USPS. I'm not sure. Everything came in fine when they came in, but at any rate, so I got a second pair as well, and I adore these. I adore these. I like these. I like the combination butterfly cat wing thing. Cat butterfly, I mean, doesn't, I guess it's not quite, they are round, but yeah, I like these. I adore this top part here, and I'm looking at it. You can actually see under my brow a little bit with these. That is so cool. It is really cool. All right, so part of what we're going to be doing, as we usually do, we're going to do a get ready with me while we talk about where I've been and the notes from home. And what we are going to be doing today is the Blend Bunny Beauty Below palette. This thing is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. She's been besmirched, but it's gorgeous. You can see you have purpley pinks here. You have actual purples. You've got some neutrals, blues, green, some more neutrals with a gold and a black, and then a squad of greens. Beautiful palette. Blend Bunny is a brand I like. Not in the top 5. It is not one that sticks on my inner corners very well, as you'll see later, or as I've already had to prepare like 3 times. But I mean, other than that, as long as I don't use it on my inner corner, I'm fine. But I did want to try to use this. I've had this for over a month. But like, things happened, and we're going to talk about the things. And I was really concerned that it was limited edition. It's not. It's still on the site. So I'll list it down below with the pricing and a link and everything. And we are also going to try this Super Lash mascara by Apple that has avocado in it. I think I saw this on TikTok and people were raving about it, and we will discuss this as well. And of course, you've seen the look because I have my glasses off for a little while. But if you're interested in this look, which I did make a little bit differently than usual, or the palette, or what's been going on, or any of all the things, then keep on watching. So I hope our mic is working. Our new mic is working really well. We'll find out when I edit, of course. But we've got water going and we've got the washer going. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. All right. So it works upstairs when I'm doing the art. It sounds a bit muffled and underwater to me, though. It is what it is. Hopefully this isn't going to be as bad. The position's a bit different. Hopefully it doesn't sound like that. If it does, I may have to look into a new mic eventually. At any rate, moving right along. So this is The Beauty Below by Blend Bunny. I introduced you in the opener. And now you can see her unbesmirched because she was besmirched before. You know how these goes. I'm filming this part first, and then we film the intro and the outro when this part's done. So palette is always used. I don't get two, usually. At any rate, I did look her over and I have plans. We're going to start over here, and then we're going to put this over it to lighten it up because this is pretty dark. If you notice, there's not too much in here that's light enough to go under the brow, so we're going to have to mess around with it. Even this one over here, which would be a nice one to put under the brow, it's a shimmer, so we'd have to start with the darker green. But we're going to go ahead and do these blues. And then we're going to go to this color, Her Prey, right here, not the brown. We don't use browns. Her Prey on the inner, and then Lull and Slay over here, over the lid. And then we're going to finish that all up with Devour. Here. We are going to do our crease with we're going to start with Dark Truth. We're going to use some of this Irresistible just above the Dark Truth to bump up against the gold here. And then we're going to use this really deep blue Abyss as our definer. The palette is still available. Hopefully I mentioned that. Probably did. And let's go ahead and get started. Yes, in case I didn't mention it before, I'm a little nervous. It's been a while. It has been a while, and that's why we're also going to be talking about what's been going on. A lot's been going on. Well, mostly one thing's been going on, but there's a reason why I haven't been around. So we will talk about all of the things while we do this. We're going to talk about one thing in particular because I'm trying to think of shit that was going on before that, and my mind is a blank. I haven't been here because my husband's been sick. The end of last month, going on a bit patchy despite all the things I did. Don't be patchy, baby. Come on. Maybe this is wrong. Ow. I swear I put powder. Okay. That was weird. I put powder over everything. I actually remembered all the things this time. I finally remember all the things, all the steps. Let me try a different brush, which is interesting because all my brushes are, the one thing I didn't get to pairing for coming back was my brushes. I have used my shade switcher on them before I've started them today, but okay, let's try this again. Oh, no. That is patchy, folks. Len Bunny, I'm so surprised. Does not like you to do the patch. Anyway, at the end of March, in April right now when I'm filming, and when this will go up, but at the end of March, my husband mentioned that he had been feeling some tightness in his chest. That he hadn't told me about because he didn't want me to worry. Be fine. All right, we're going to grab some of this Immerse and start top down. Well, whoa, that came up very purple on my brush, but we're going to start top down. Oh, wow, that is beautiful. I don't think that lightened much up, but it looks pretty over the color. Okay, all right, see you. We are not going to get through this if I don't. Blend Money is one of those brands that I like. She's not in my top 5. That's a little darker than I like, but it works. It works. It works. Well, we're going to brighten everything up beneath it, I hope. Anyway, Blend Bunny is one of those brands that I like, but I don't buy from her frequently. She's not in my top 5. My top 5 is the ones I buy from for the most part. I'm going to go put my glitter glue on. Eye is behaving so far, but let's not jinx it, right? That's 2/3 away across on that, since we're doing 2 little glitteries, since we're doing 2 shimmeries. Anyway, so yeah, the husband tells me that he's been experiencing these pains, and he's had them on and off for, I guess, a week or 2 or something. I thought he meant longer than that. He swears to me that it hasn't been longer than that since that discussion. I told him he needs to go to ER. Now, we're a use the insurance only when you have to kind of people around here, because we can't afford the hospital bills that the insurance leaves behind. So, yeah. But the next morning, he was still feeling the problem. And what are you getting into? Oh, she's getting into a box. Anyway, he's still feeling the problem. So he decides to go to urgent care. This man goes to urgent care, which is great. But he takes his knife kit and he wears his work uniform going to urgent care for chest pain. He's such a doofus. Quite obviously, the urgent care was like, no, sir. You're going to go right across the street. I didn't expect that to come up really pink. Maybe it's not pink for you guys. It might be one of those duo things. Anyway, they're like, no, sir. You are not going to work. You are going to go across the street and check yourself in to the little hospital that's over there. It's part of a larger hospital. It's part of Emory down here in Georgia. But they were like, yeah, no, the work is not happening. you're going to go check in over there. You're going to go to their little ER and let them do what they need to do. Now, the urgent care did do some tests. I don't know what the tests were, but in the end, it was, yeah, go to urgent care. ER ends up admitting him to nobody's surprise but his. And he stayed there for 3 or 4 days while they ran some tests. They didn't run the one that eventually caught everything, but they ran some other tests. He had no incidents while he was at the hospital, which tells me that whatever was going on, these are very soft and moosey. You have to be careful with them. Okay. Anyway, which tells me that whatever was going on was being aggravated by activity. I mean, it could have been the house, but stress things. And aren't you pretty? But we go and see him. He has us bring his knife kit home. His wife gives him a look. He's like, what? I thought I was going to go to work. That will always be like the thing. The thing that this man did was decide that with a heart thing, he was going to go to work. That they were going to be like, nah, everything's fine. Go to work. Shit. Do it at your heart. How are you going to play games with your heart? There are several things that your body cannot function without. Your heart would be one of them. Anyway, so they brought him home. They sent him home. He gave him something like a dozen medications. It was a little less than that, but that's what it felt like. And obviously blood pressure. They put him on a thinner. They put him on aspirin. They put him on something for cholesterol. Medications. Now the medications were that bad, considering how many he had. He spent like $20 or $25, so it wasn't that bad. I mean, they must have been like $3 to $5 a piece, so it wasn't a huge imposition. And so we're gonna get into this dark truth. They sent him home. A few days later, he was having it again, and he didn't go in right away, but he had a cardiologist appointment that week that he got out. So he went to the cardiologist, told the cardiologist what was going on. The cardiologist looked at him and said, "You're going to go back to the hospital, and we're going to try to get a dye test done so we can see what's going on with what's going on, and why this is going on." So he had to bring me home. And then, because I haven't driven in over a decade, I guess, or pretty close. I haven't driven in a long time. We're going to take a little bit more of that beautiful purple, just a bit on the tip. Pull it over, blend it into that green a bit. Just like we blended it into the peachy orange that was not supposed to be orange. It's supposed to be more golden, or maybe a rose gold. It's coming up peachy for me. Yeah, it's peachy. Doesn't look that peachy. Well, I guess it is that peachy. Anyway, maybe I should have done trance, which is more of a green. At any rate, I'm not mad at it. I think it goes really well with the purple that is now across the lid. It's beautiful. I like the way it's coming out so far. I also need to get moving because we are almost done with this eye. I'll just move on to the other eye. That's what we'll do. And it's just what we'll do. Anyway, so I'm gonna grab some Devour. I am putting it on the end of my brush. I'm not doing my usual point. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm just using the end of the brush. So anyway, I guess I'm going to take that out a little bit. PR point. She's a bit dark, but that's fine. We'll work it out. So the doctor tells him, I want you to go from here, this office right now, and go back to the hospital. He called to arrange for someone to watch for him and get him in and get him admitted. Unfortunately, they didn't have any openings for the dye test. This was on a Friday, and they didn't have any openings for that dye test until Monday. So he spent 3 days in the hospital that our insurance is not willing to cover at this point because they're saying it wasn't medically necessary. So I guess my husband should have just had a heart attack for it to be urgent. But moving on. We've got Anthem. Y'all know Anthem. Anthem is under the umbrella of the company that Luigi is being prosecuted for killing the executive. And honestly, after seeing some of my bills from Anthem, and this was not medically necessary bullshit. Moving on. So he's sitting there in the hospital, and once again, everything dies down. But you got to keep in mind, he's in a hospital bed, so he's not being active. He's laying down. So I tell him, maybe try being up on your feet and seeing what happens. Walk around. He has to wait to get permission, do the things, and you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that green the way I want to do it. I'm gonna give it a try. That's pretty. That's pretty. Anyways, so the he's there for 3 days. He's not feeling the problem again. And we're gonna get the end of this brush for this. I hope that this works and doesn't look stupid. It'll probably look stupid, but we're gonna try it anyway. Because I do stuff. The Monday he has the test, and as it turns out, he has 2 blockages, 90% on one side and 70% on the other. I have to take a moment to breathe because think about that, about how close this man came. This man I love. I could not sleep for the entire time he was gone, even not knowing what was going on, which I suppose could make it worse. Even knowing what was going on, I could not sleep. My husband and I are on very different schedules. So we don't often sleep in the same bed because I'm a night owl, but he has to be up at 6 in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning. So I don't want to disturb him, and I don't go to bed until about 2 or 3, when I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to fall asleep and not bother him with lights while I'm reading or whatever. I still do some reading. I use Nook on my phone. But you guys get the point, okay? I can't watch TV or anything up there when he's up there at 9 or 10 o'clock trying to go to sleep for work. So we spend a lot of time not in the same bed together because of different schedules, not because we don't love each other. But I am always aware that he's in the house. It's much like my son. I'm always aware my son is in the house. Always aware. That awareness does weirdly take up some time. I don't know how that works. When he is off with family or with my daughter going to the grocery store or something like that, I guess because I can focus more, I get a lot more done. But when he's here, I'm aware he's here. So same for my husband. I am very aware of his schedule. I am very aware of when he is here and when he is not here. And when he was gone for a week, I was unable to sleep. So I'm going to breathe. I like it, but it looks a bit incomplete. I'll grab some more. Anyway, the next day they put in the first of 2 stents. And a day or 2 after that, they put in the next of 2 stents. And he's had no trouble since. During this whole time, I like that. It's something different for me. I like it. During this whole time, though, I am stressed out. I am trying to take care of my son and make sure he doesn't get stressed out. That I am stressed out. I couldn't do art. I just didn't have the spoons to do art. I didn't have the spoons to film. I just didn't have the damn spoons, okay, for anything. And so that's where I was. I was here trying to figure out, you know what I did most of, I think? No, I didn't even do that. I'm going to be honest and say I'm pretty much blank as to what I did do. I know the things I didn't do. I didn't work on my ancestry tree. I didn't do art until towards the end. I said I couldn't really film. I think I'm going to bring that down in here too. I like that. It's different. Anyway, I did have to cook. Obviously, my husband wasn't here to cook, so I did have to cook, and I would, let's get some of that abyss in there. I was cooking large meals, for lack of a better word, because I was having so much trouble just trying to focus on life. But you got to feed your kids. So, yeah, that's where I've been for the past month. Just sort of not fully present. Trying to get that to join with that green a bit. And they need to bring that green down a little further. Bring that green down a little. I like it. It's a little different, but I like it. Now that's a drama eye. But I'm not mad at it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm going to take lighter brush and buff this out just a little bit. Now I have to remember how to do it on the other side. Anyway, so they didn't release him till Thursday or Friday the following week after they were sure that he was okay. They readjusted his meds. He's no longer on one or two of them, and they gave him a new one that he has to be on a year so that his body doesn't reject the stents. Folks. You know, there are probably other things that have gone on, and I'm going to finish my other eye and take a breather, and hopefully I can remember some of the other things, so we can talk about it when we go through the closure, the ending. But obviously that was a big, heavy thing for us. That was over us for a whole month. In the hospital, he came home for less than a week and then back in the hospital for a week, and he's been doing really well. Fortunately, he's gone back to work. He's been on light duty at work. He's been on lower hour days. There are concerns about that, but he is doing well. So, but we'll get more into all of that when I finish up and come back. I don't know. Because of the hood, you can't see the other part, but I really think that I needed to do that inner line down here too. Y'all have to let me know what you think. I'm gonna go finish. I'll be right back. Something like. Alrighty, so really quickly, I did remove the tea flower from the tea. As you can see, it did flower eventually. Someone has to tell me if all tea flowers are like that, if they take a long time and don't end up opening up to a really pretty flower. They always make them look really pretty in the advertisements, but they wouldn't they? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at our look, and then we'll talk about a look at our look. Yeah. I already know this one is kind of screwed up, the side. When I did the top green line, I didn't go high enough, realized what was going on, tried to fix the things. It's a mess. I'm aware. It works, but I'm aware it's a mess. Looks like the inner corners are finally holding up a little bit. We have a little bit of schmooch down on the one side because my eyes were tearing, as they are wont to do. My apologies about that. And my eyes, you all know, I end up crying a lot. Hope that didn't come up in the pictures. If it did, I'll have to redo them. Anyway, okay, so hopefully I fixed that mostly. You can see where we are losing a little bit of the foundation and stuff, but that's fine. And underneath, I continued that green on the outer side over here and used some other colors that I didn't use for the rest of it on the inner and lower lash line. So I am not mad at this palette. This is beautiful. This is not a look I would normally do. I might try pushing myself out of the box a little bit more because this look, I actually really like the way it came out, even on the smoochy side. And, but yes, I like this palette. It's beautiful. Like I said, the biggest problem is that these colors do not withstand my inner corners very much or very well, but I love the color story. I love the way they set it up in quads. It is a little on the higher end of the number of colors I like in one palette. And this being my first time coming back after everything we talked about, I did end up hesitating and having to look everything over a little bit more because it's just more than what I'm used to. All that said, it's a beautiful palette, and I think they fit their beauty below. It's supposed to be the darker side of mermaids, and yeah, beautiful palette. Blend Bunny is really good with their color stories, and I think in getting their color stories and their theme to match, I think they're really good at that. All right, so the mascara I am not impressed with. I do not know why this, like I said, I think it was on TikTok, became a thing. It is dry. I mean, it's cheap, but Essence, I think it's Essence. Yes, it's Essence. Essence is cheap. I love Essence. I love their mascara. I love their stuff. A lot of their stuff. So you can get cheap mascaras that work well. But this one is really dry. And this brush, oh my God, does anybody need a brush this big? I found it clunky to work with. And I've worked with curved, I've worked with non-curved, I've worked with the really small brushes, I've worked with the more normal standard brushes. I've seen some larger brushes, nothing like this, nothing. It felt like the brush kind of exploded at the bottom there. It really wasn't doing anything for super lashes. My lashes weren't getting long, they weren't getting thick. It was very dry. I don't feel bad about throwing this out because it was really cheap. I do not recommend it unless you want to have, just a little mascara and not have the reasons you wear mascara, which is long, thick, full lashes. This does not give you that from me. Not impressed with this at all. So it will go in the trash. Yeah, it was just no. It's just a no. It shall stay a no. Okay, so finishing off our discussion about what's been up with my husband. He is doing very, very well. He got home and he's had no incidents since he got home. And he's been back to work. He's been back to work on a lighter load, a lighter schedule. He's anxious to get back to full time, I think. And speaking of which, I don't know if they heard that. Hopefully he'll be back. He's been back to work. He's been working for about a week and a half now. He stayed home for a couple days. They had him work 2 like 4-hour or light work days. And then he had another couple days off, his usual days off, and then he went back to work, and he's going to be off. He's working pretty much almost a normal week, and but he's not working the same length of hours. He went from 4 hours a day to 6. He's anxious to get back to full time. And when he got home, you could tell that he was really ready to be doing things. He hated being in the hospital. Uh, it just he's but the hospital just it bothered him a lot. It did. He made a post about feeling like he was in prison. So yeah. But and when he got home, he made dinner like that night or the next night I think. And I think he really wants to get back to cooking and doing all of that stuff. So he's doing well. He's not feeling, to my knowledge, he hasn't said anything about feeling any pain. We got him I got him a triangular pillow, so he's slightly more elevated when he's sleeping. That seems to be helping with both. That helped when he got home with his breathing, and then also I think it helped with the snoring. But it seems to be helping him in general to be elevated just a little bit. The doctor does want to do some sort of sleep thing, so that we'll see what happens with that. The big thing right now that we're trying to get through is the financial ends of things. A week and a half is a long time to be out of work, and then you have 2 weeks where you're not doing full time. Basically, that's a month of of well, when it comes down to it, that's a month when you're either not working at all, or not working enough hours. So that's two paychecks that are going to be affected by this. And I know he's anxious to get back to work and be doing his thing. Come here. Come here. Come here. Show them all that you're alive and well. Say hello.
Hi, I'm alive and well. Hi.
On Facebook, they've been concerned about you. And so most of the subscribers here probably know what's been going on. But if you don't, I'm sure they just wanted to see you.
Sorry.
Sorry? Why? What?
How much did you create?
Well, because she should, after that statement. I said, why? He apologized. He said, sorry, I don't know if you're going to hear it. He said, because I'm alive and well. What? I love that man, but he's a doofus. Anyway, so he's doing fine. Financially, we're going to a organization that helps people in the restaurant industry after catastrophic crises such as this, or car accidents, or whatever. And they help with things like rent and utilities. If they cover that, then I can take care of food. Our next check is looking so sketch right now. Most of that week and a half ended up on this upcoming check. So this upcoming check was cut by 2/3, and that'll cover my rent in addition to my son's Social Security, assuming that arrives on time, because the things. But just we're fortunate that somebody pointed us in a direction to get help for these things, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I think the daughter is home. Huh? Come here and say hi. What did you waste $8 on? Oh, Arby's is usually good. I'd be sad too, but come say hello. Say hello. They got the secrets. They should see you too. She's tired, folks. She's just home from work. That too. Can you put your face down a little bit where they can see? Even when she's in pain, she's goofy. Anyway, so there's been a few other small changes, not necessarily in our house. They have a new chef over where my husband's working, and apparently she was on Hell's Kitchen for a short period. I don't remember which season. And she's been working with the group that runs his kitchen, but his old chef has moved on to other things. He and the sous chef, who was there before, actually have a relationship and have moved a little bit into a new space. But yeah, there's a new chef over there. Not much has changed here. We've my husband has seen a doctor. I'll be seeing a doctor on May 1st. I'm not seeing the doctor I want to see because the doctor I want to see I would have to wait till almost June to see. So they managed to find somebody else to cover for him, so to speak, so I can get in. So I still haven't seen a doctor about my pain issues. We're going to work on all that. But in general, other than this big thing that has sucked all the other memories out of my brain, we have been doing fairly well. And now we just have to get through this next big craziness thing. Yeah, of with the checks. And he's going to talk to them about his hours. He wants to get back to full time. We're going to go ahead and get a sip of our tea and get on our merry way. Let me know down below what you think about this look. If you're planning to get this palette, don't get this. This is so cute, and I'm really disappointed because of the avocado in it, but it really is a very dry mascara. Now, it's true that I've had this for a little bit, but I did not open it when I first got it. I was really astonished to see that big brush. So, yeah, I'm not impressed with this at all. I would not recommend this. Um, and because it was cheap, I don't feel bad about throwing it out. I think I mentioned that. So you'll have to let me know if you're actually going to go ahead and give this a try, big fluffy brush or not, what you think about the palette, what you think about the look. I actually really like what I did. That's a little out of the box for me. What can I say? So I really enjoy it. And if you haven't yet, I hope you will like and share and subscribe and comment down below. And let's go ahead and get our tea in before we go ahead and sign off. Yep, it's green tea. That's all it is green tea. It's fine. I should put just a touch more sugar in there, but I'm fine. We are working on a new diet. Doctor definitely told him to lose some inches on the waist. And so he's starting to walk, and we're adjusting our diet further. I don't know if any of you know, but because he's a chef, we tend to cook our food from scratch around here. So we don't buy a lot of fast food. And yeah, big part right there. But anyway, that's it. Y'all know, I love my girls. I love my dragonettes. And I hope you have a good one.